Welcome back to the Theme Park Realm YouTube channel, and welcome back to another episode in the Roller Coaster Tycoon free series. Now obviously in the last episode we did start and finish off work on the Water Rapids ride, which you can see just behind this brand new area that I'm starting to build now on the map. As I said, in the last episode, with this series we are going with full on detail in the park. We're trying to get as much sort of theming into the areas as possible, which is something that I haven't really done before in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. But yeah, I did decide, I was kind of debating whether to carry on with this area or to sort of change it up and go for a completely different area, but I did decide in the end that I do one final section of the Western themed area. Obviously, the Western area now, it is taking up quite a lot of the park, and so this is going to be the final section. Now, what I kind of try to create, as you can see at the moment, is just kind of like a massive open area, and that just means really that if I want to go back in the sort of like at a later date and add more rides in, I can certainly do that, and obviously I could just delete some of that path out and then put more rides in around the sort of back of the area. But yeah, I decided for this sort of end section just to put one little flat ride there and also some food stalls as well, just to kind of finish off the area. I mean, obviously in the last episode, as you would have seen, we built the roller coaster and the water rapids, but we didn't really have any flat rides or any like food outlets or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to go into that and get that sort of put in the end of the area. And the next episode, we will then start moving on then into a brand new area altogether. What I'm thinking is I'm thinking of doing kind of like an Egyptian styled area. I was trying to sort of find something that would fit in with sort of the Western theme a little bit and just sort of make like a nice smooth transition. Obviously from the sort of, as you go into the park, you go into that prehistoric area and that kind of transitions into the Western theme and it does it quite nicely. And then I thought that for the next sort of main area, I thought we'd go for kind of like an Egyptian theme for that. But you can see here I'm just kind of like adding sort of details in. I'm adding some mountains to the background, and you'll see as well that I'm going to start putting like a load of kind of like Western style facades around that back area as well, so that when you look down from like the rest of the Western area, you can sort of see that sort of Western themed backdrop, and you'll see that in a second when I start to add that detail in. As I said sort of in the previous episodes, I am trying to keep the areas as segregated as possible, so obviously that sort of hilly area and the trees that I'm sort of putting at the back now, that will keep that area well segregated from the rest of the park. And if I do go back and build another area behind that, you won't be able to see any of the Western area sort of from the new area that I build around there. But yeah, so as I said sort of previously, from this side of the park, it's going to be sort of a lot of like Western, like sort of like sandy, sort of dry, and then as you go round, it's actually going to go into a water park. So on the sort of complete opposite side of the theme park from this area, I am planning on building a water park and having kind of a more sort of, I suppose, aquatic theme to that side of the park. And I think it should kind of, it should work out really nice. I know in the Egyptian area, I want to build kind of possibly like an inverted coaster or something like that as sort of the main, because at the moment obviously we've got the wooden roller coaster, but we don't have like kind of like a massive, I wouldn't say we've got like a massive roller coaster ride, sort of like a signature ride at the moment, and I am going to kind of do that in the next episode. The problem with this is obviously, as I said previously, I don't want to make the rides too high up in the air. I want to kind of try and keep everything covered by trees so that you can't see it from any other point in the park. So that is going to be kind of a challenge. We're going to have to kind of probably go down into the ground with the next ride that we do build in the park. But you can see there I'm just kind of adding the finer details, adding some benches round, some bins, of course, and then a little bit more Western theming. And you can see here I am now going to start putting in the kind of toilets and the food outlet and also the drinks outlet as well, which will go at the back there. And obviously we have got a drinks, foods outlet sort of at the front of the prehistoric area, but there actually isn't anything like that throughout the whole of the Western area really, so that's why I've decided to put this kind of at the back there, and hopefully sort of match the theme of the wooden roller coaster as well that you can see in the background with this. And then just off to the right of that building is where I'm going to put the path, and that will then exit, well, it'll be an exit and an entrance to the Western area, and then obviously from that path you'll then get the sort of Egyptian themed area that I'm planning for the next episode. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to execute that. I think what I'll do first of all is probably build the big roller coaster, and that'll kind of sort of be the basis then of the rest of the area. So I'll build that big ride and then kind of put the theme in around that. And as I say, I can see there being like a few pyramids, maybe like a massive temple or something like that, but I'm really going to try and go to town on like the Egyptian theming, you know, build lots of like walls, because there is, I was looking in kind of the like the theming section that you can see I'm in at the moment, and for the Egyptian style there is a lot of different like walls and sort of windows and doors and features that you can use when you build like pyramid and temple style buildings. So I've never really tried that before in Roller Coaster Tycoon, so I'm quite excited to see you know, exactly what I can kind of build with that. But yeah, it is quite a short episode today. There wasn't really too much going on for the sort of the back end of the western area. As I say, the main bulk of the work on this area has already been completed over the last sort of few previous episodes. I do need to point out as well, I have been having a few issues recently with the sort of screen blacking out sort of mid-episode, so it looks absolutely fine on the recording, but then when I put it into my video editor, it kind of like keeps black screening. I tried re-rendering the video multiple times and it didn't resolve the issue. So in a few of the previous episodes, if you do see black screening, I do apologise. I did try and sort of fix that issue there and then, but for some reason, I think it's got something to do with like the type of files that I was using. It just wasn't working. So hopefully in this episode, I've changed quite a few settings, and you should see now that there isn't any black screening. Fingers crossed, but obviously I can't be 100% sure. But yeah, that's kind of it really for this episode. Obviously, that's it. It's complete. The sort of the final section of the western area is all finished. There wasn't really much to do there, so that's it. It's all complete. As I say, we're not opening the park up yet. I'm going to get the whole thing finished, and then it'll be opened up. So if you do want to see more videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I am going to try and, as I say, try and get as many episodes of this out as possible, and hopefully, you know, we'll get the park complete very soon. But yeah, thank you again for watching. I hope you did enjoy this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.